Okay, everything is clearing up. I have a lot going on my phone. Lots of
Wow.
what's going on there?
Shoot, that's everything turning on. All the alerts on your phone.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's
You know,
okay? There we
yeah,
are. Okay, what's happening?
look at that.
Okay, there we are. We're getting it together. My phone's waking up. We're waking up. Okay, all right. Okay, everything is in
All right.
place. Yes, okay. Peace, happy and healthy family and friends.
Hey now.
We are here. We made
Mm-hmm.
it to
Yes.
Friday.
Yes.
Happy new day with
Yes.
Ari and Jay.
Yes. Happy
Let me get a
new
little
day
closer because I know you.
with Ari and J.
Yes, indeedy. You're so sweet.
Yes. So first off, I want to start off by for all those that were ready for today's the original topic for today, which is how to understand and understand the. Oh wow! Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah.
Welcome.
So the original topic today was how to recognize diseases in the body and emotional connections to those. We had a bit of an emergency situation yesterday, and I wasn't able to prepare for that like I would like. I can do it off the top of my head, but I really wanted to hit some solid points that you all can take home and apply in your daily life. So we'll look to do that next week. So with that being said,
Yes.
the topic for today is.
Well, I wanted to share my experience
Hmm.
from yesterday.
Yeah, somebody did a cell phone detox
Not
or a
on
cell
purpose,
phone
though.
fast.
Yes, and honestly, because or the feeling that I feel right now, I want to do it at least once a week.
Mm.
I'll explain what happened. So, you and I went out, and I realized when we were driving that um, I could use rest,
Yes.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell asleep while you were driving because you drive so well.
Mm.
Yes, this is true.
Mm. Exactly. I have to when I'm driving the Queen.
Okay, this is
Mm.
yeah, uh, great, uh, great way to be. Always
Yes.
safe driving.
Yes.
So we
Mm.
got home, and then you had to prepare for work, and
Mm.
I had to, um, I had to, I had an opportunity to rest. Now my cell phone just turned off, right? But I'll just share your
Mm.
live to my feed. I didn't see the cord to my phone. I'm like, okay, well, all is well. I was a little, oh, where's my cell phone? Because we're so attached. We're so, okay, I have five, 5%. I have 2%. I have 1%. Okay, I have no um, access to the world and anything can happen. My mind is just going, going, going. Then my higher self jumped in and said, you know what? You were asleep in the car. Go on and just lay down.
Mm.
Just lay down. And so I started to organize things in my closet. You know, we just moved here. I mean, not too long ago, but things
Mm.
are kind of around,
Right.
so I had a chance to organize, and then it's like, okay, rest. Okay, so I laid down. Now, naps, something I don't really do. And I don't know if I'm the only one. And if you are really good at taking naps, uh, good for you. Good for you. And naps, we should take naps. There's a reason why we took naps in school when we were little.
Mm-hmm.
It's a recharger. And so I laid down and I just went to sleep. And I slept and I slept and I slept. And I woke up and no one was around. And I didn't know what time it was because my phone was dead. I didn't have, I just had more time to sleep. So I went back to sleep. Then I heard a boom, boom, boom on the door. Okay, I went downstairs. I opened the door because our daughter, she had made it home, but I hadn't heard anything before then until that knock. And I saw her car was there, so I was like, okay, let me just open up the door. Went back upstairs and went back to sleep.
Mm.
You told me that you made it home at what time?
Almost 2 o'clock. Yeah.
2 a.m.
No one. Yeah, 1:30. Went to bed at 2. Yeah.
1:30. I didn't hear anything. I was washing clothes, so then I went and I was folding up things. I put yours away, I put mine away, and I just went back to sleep. When the body, follow your mind, yes, follow your body, absolutely. When the body is calling for you to move, move. When the body is calling for you to rest, rest. And there's a time and place for everything. Is that what we heard somewhere?
Yeah, somebody
There's
said
a time and place for everything. There's time for rest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did.
Oh, yeah.
I rested really well.
No, you woke up rejuvenated.
Oh, hold on.
I see
That's
your
part
energy.
B.
I see your energy on a whole nother level.
Tell me about it. Hold on. I woke up before sunrise, and something said, just go draw a bath for yourself. It was still dark. I was like, okay, I'm still very mellow. I get in the bathtub and I just soak, relax. And I really appreciate myself for listening to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to do a cell phone detox, but it was necessary, and it fell right into the circadian rhythm because my body was calling for rest. Where usually I would or you would, no, we would be up until around what time? Do we usually go to bed?
Yeah, midnight. 11 o'clock, midnight.
I didn't even know what time it was to go to sleep.
Mm.
Yeah. So I didn't have the cord. I found gratitude in that eventually. Really, I didn't have the cord. And then I'm like, okay, well, where's the cord? And then what'd you tell me? So I was like, I don't have my cord. When you came in, I heard the rattling. I was like, okay, somebody else is here in our room. And I saw it was you. And I asked about the cord. And then what happened to the cord?
I grabbed it out by accident, rushing off to the job. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, because it left me and to focus and I did some reading. I did things before I went to sleep. I organized. So in the time of, oh my goodness, there's lack, sit back for a little bit and tune in, and you'll never fail yourself when you listen to yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely phenomenal.
I feel great.
Cell phone fasting.
Yes.
Yes.
Once a week, I say I would do it. Because the phone turned off, and that was it. And it was a good thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Honestly, I'm okay. I'm ready to cook.
Yeah.
I am really awake.
Oh.
Yes, I'm ready to
Right
cook
on.
and drink tea.
Yeah. So we're so bombarded with electronics, in particular the cell phone. That's the number one, but just the frequencies that are flowing through the air from the wireless systems and whatnot. A lot of us wear those earpieces and whatnot, which technically are one of the worst things you can do. Because you're actually running the radiation directly into it's in direct contact with your brain by through the ear canal and whatnot. And so a lot of times I have clients that they tell me that they had trouble sleeping. And I asked them, and the first thing I asked them is like, is your cell phone near your bed? I'm like,
Mm.
they're like, oh, well, I sleep with my
Mm.
phone. That's like next to me. It's right there. And I said, okay, when's the last time do you like, how late do you actually look at the phone? Is it the first thing you look at when you wake up in the morning? Is it the last thing you have before you do you do you have your phone handy before you kiss your mate goodnight? And a lot of times, that cell phone is the first thing, the last thing we see, and the first thing we see.
Mm.
And so the brain typically doesn't have the opportunity to slow down because
Mm.
that phone, it's almost like especially with all the bells and whistles on the social media, it has a addicting, like almost like when you go to Vegas, you have all those bells and whistles on the slot machine.
Good point.
And so the phones uh, do the same thing. And
Mm.
so, as a matter of fact, but they do it in more of a subtle fashion. And so, like to the point where you ever have you ever thought you heard your phone ring or thought you had an alert from your phone, but there wasn't an alert?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Has that
Yeah.
happened to you before? Type
Hmm.
yes if it has.
Yeah. You're like, wait,
Please.
I thought my phone, had an alert, but then you look at the phone and nothing was there. That's a really good sign that it's time to do a fast because now your body's so in sync with the phone that you're starting to hear it go off or thinking that it's going off when it actually hasn't. And then when it does go off, then you're like, ooh, oh, I'm trying to get that emotional fix per se, because that's what it turns into because there are endorphins that are created when we get like likes and shares and alerts
Oh,
and this is and
yeah.
that.
Gotta have a notification.
And so we get so hung up on that to the point where we actually even look at our phone when we didn't hear anything just to see if something came through. I've been
Mm.
guilty of that.
Mm.
And so that's when I needed to realize I needed to detach from my phone because I was becoming a slave to that. Like, oh, I gotta look at my phone, gotta look at my phone, I gotta see what the latest news is. And,
Mm.
back in the day, before prior to all this, this big electronic boom and, walking around with our handheld computers, life was simple. You can go out and go play all day and not, my biggest, electronic connection was, the video game when the video game craze came out and whatnot. But other than that, we played, we did our thing, we left the house, if somebody had, you got an answering machine and whatnot, you got your messages when you got back. And so, granted, it does make the cell phones do make us exponentially more efficient as far as getting work done, but at the same time, how is that? How does that affect our quality of life? Yeah, you
Mm.
go to restaurants, you see people, rather than talking to each other.
On a date.
Oh yeah, on a date, they looking at their phones, trying to figure out how they're gonna create a selfie, or who else are they talking to, or looking for alerts
And
instead of
even,
interacting with one another.
yes, exactly. And that's
Mm-hmm.
sad. And even restaurants will have their menu.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that you can order is through the menu that you download on your cell phone.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so the cell phone actually tends to become more like a crutch. Is
Hmm. Hmm.
it's funny. You know what? Now that
Tell
I
me
think
more.
about it,
Come on.
yeah, I had a bit of that myself. 'Cause it
Hmm.
felt like as when I was out there on the emergency job last night, or so it's like yesterday that ran into last night and this morning, my phone died. It wouldn't charge.
It happened to you
Hmm. And for probably 3.5 hours, almost, yeah, 3.5 hours of the job, it was a disconnect, and I felt like the sense of loss. It was like, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do
too.
without the phone?
World, world, where are you, world?
And I was like, but at the same time, I think in the midst of all the chaos in that job, I felt a sense of solitude and an intense focus that,
Mm.
and I actually really enjoyed it. It gave me a chance to, rather than trying to look, looking over at my phone or seeing who
Mm-hmm.
messaged me every, few minutes or so. It helped me lock in, and then I got a chance to really think and let my mind, flow and my imagination flow, rather than so then it kind of gives you an opportunity rather to go within, rather as opposed to looking at something to stimulate you, that mental, emotional stimulation for a lot of folks, especially on social media, because that's what it feeds. It feeds your emotion sensors and gets you the
Mm.
neurons fired up, and it gets your mind going. And so, from a fasting standpoint, I know some of us, we can't get away for a day or whatnot, or even extended hours, but at least 1 to 2 hours before you go to sleep, especially if you have any kind of challenges with going to sleep. Yeah, and the
Mm.
reason why that happens is because your mind is going.
That's neat.
And a lot of my clients that have had trouble with, sleep issues and whatnot, I've got insomnia. I'm like, well, uh, try turning your phone. The first thing I tell them is like, well, try shutting all the electronics down. No TV, no cell phone. Just
Oh, cool.
read. Anything other than turn all the electronics off at least 1 to 2 hours before bed. And 9 times out of 10, that seems to do the trick, because it gives your brain a chance to really slow down, shut down, and start to go into the different states of preparing to go to bed, and then boom, then bingo. By the time you go, especially if they do like a meditation, do some breathing exercises prior to as well.
Mm-hmm.
That'll knock them out as well. But yes, but a lot of times it's the cell phone because it gets your brain
And that glow, it's so
going.
bright and it's colorful, and
Mm-hmm.
there's always something to look forward to as you're scrolling. And have you ever, I have you ever, just type yes if you have you ever gone to look for something and then forgot what you were looking for because a notification came in? So that took your attention off into another space. And then you
Mm-hmm.
remember, like hours later, oh, I was looking for that though.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah, it
yeah.
happens. They are distractions.
Yes.
Most times, because do we really? I mean, outside. I mean, the original purpose was just in case of emergencies or something. Have a cell phone on you. Even there
Mm-hmm.
used to be cell phones that were in the car
Yes.
back in the day.
Yes.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
if there's an emergency. Now, I mean, okay, before cell phones,
Mm-hmm.
was there so many people at the payphone?
No.
Hold on, maybe I'm going
Mm-hmm.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Were there so many people at the payphone?
Mm-mm. No.
So, what do you think is? I'm gonna need to get this close. What do you think is the reason that we feel the need to connect in the way that we do through cell phones? You said
Mm.
even during dinner dates, you and I've seen it. The guy and the girl, or the family, or the party, or whoever. Everybody is here,
Mm-hmm.
here. No eye contact. Just here, just here. And it really isn't. It really wasn't until I did not have access to my cell phone. It wouldn't. I didn't have a charge. It wasn't until then that it was like, okay, like I said, higher self. It's okay. Go on. Go within.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got my rest, and I feel like it too.
Right.
Yeah, I just feel it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Do you have anything else, brother?
I'm ready to cook.
Oh. I'm ready
You
to
remember I
eat.
said that?
Oh yeah. 12 o'clock. I break my daily fast, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to eating some of your good food, buddy.
Okay, well, I'll get started with that
Mm-hmm.
and drink my tea. And
Yes.
yeah, so this was for encouragement
Mm-hmm.
to let the cell phone go for a couple of hours. It doesn't have to be every day because we all have some level of addiction to our phones.
Mm-hmm.
It's the go to when there's nothing else to do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's our line of communication across the world, across the country, mom, dad, children. We all want to stay in touch. And actually, we should be focused or give some time to be in touch.
In touch.
Yeah, in
Mm-hmm.
touch. In touch. I will say again and again and again that rest with no phone, going into sleep, I'll take that bird. Just try it. Try it. Try it, and let us know how it was for you. Just one day. I go for 1 day a week. Can we start that as a fast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like fasting with you.
I love fasting with you.
Well, I love fasting with you too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's so many different ways. It doesn't have to be food necessarily. It could be whatever that
Mm-hmm.
addiction is. Bring it down some. Bring it back into you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I say yes.
and as do I.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. So, today's Friday. Everybody have a great day.
Yes, a fabulous Friday and have a
Fabulous.
phenomenal weekend.
Please do.
Yes, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
That's what's going to happen. God willing.
Yes, yes. So blessings. We
Peace.
love you all.
Absolutely. Got this one.